Hey guys, I got some new cars here that I want to show off today. Let me turn the camera around here for everybody. I'm gonna let a few more people join and then I'll start talking about these cars. All right, everybody, so we just got our hands on a MK8 GTI. I believe this is the first privately owned one in the country. We also have an 8Y S3, which is the Mark IV S3, and it's a hatchback. So this is one that will probably never come to the United States unless they start to bring the hatches back again, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think we're just gonna get the sedan again. We just imported these from Germany. We worked with our importer over there, APR Germany, or Stoll Automotive. So bought the cars, sent them over here on a boat, and now we get to do some tuning on them. It's pretty exciting because the platform, it's very similar to the Mark VII, and a lot of our parts already fit, but a lot of parts actually need some modifications. So things like exhausts, I think the intake system won't fit. There's a couple things like that we're going to be making all new parts. The engines in these cars are actually, it's a Gen 4 version of the EA888 engine. So that's really exciting. It's all new stuff. They have bigger turbos on each of them. This one right here, the GTI, has a Garrett turbo on it. And the S3, which will also be the same as the Golf R, that has a Continental turbo on it. And I'm actually, I posted up a picture of those turbos the other day. I'm gonna have one of the guys here bring out the turbos so we can take a look at them. But yeah, I'm gonna watch the comments here. If you guys have any questions, I'm gonna jump in these cars just so you can see all the new things on them. I guess let's start off with the S3 here. I mean, this thing is awesome. It looks great. They've done some real cool things, like on the hood here, the leading edge. It's kind of like a little bit of a throwback to the to some of the older cars from back in the day. All new headlights with the LED matrix, which I think the refresh rate on my camera is kind of showing it blinking, but in real life it's not blinking at all. There's tons of little teeny features on this car that are really interesting. So let me jump inside of it here. The interior on this car is a remarkable upgrade over the last one. They've got screens everywhere, of course. It just doesn't feel, the last one seemed really plain, and this one just seems really futuristic, I guess you could say. It's got the digital dash on it. We're almost out of fuel on this thing because it just came off the boat and they're empty, so I'm gonna probably turn it off in a second here. But I think you won't like this. The shifter is this little, goofy knob. This is kind of neat. The volume, to turn it up, you just rotate your finger around it. There's no actual knob anymore. And it has the same interface, I believe, as like all of the new Audi cars. So like the S7 has this in it, for example. And it's easy to use. It also has CarPlay and Android Audio, all that kind of stuff. The key, kind of weak. There's nothing new about it. The seats, awesome. This is all Alcantara here. The door handles, we were looking at this before. They're just, it's really interesting looking. Let's see, we can take a look at the back here. Plenty of room. So that seat up front was adjusted. I'm 6 feet tall. I'm not touching. If I push hard, I can touch. There's plenty of room back here. It doesn't look like it, but there's plenty of room. Again, all the little details on the door are really nice in this car. And it's got the big sunroof, like the last one. I think it's about the same size. Go around to the trunk here. So this is the hatch. This is the shorter hatch. This isn't the Sportback. It might be a little hard to see with the sun. Decent sized trunk. No spare, which I don't know if that's just a US thing or a rest of the world thing, because these are German spec cars. But you just have the little pump and the fluid that you can put in it. Just sitting here at idle. It's got the power gate on it. Sitting at idle, it's not very loud. We're gonna have to make an exhaust for this for you to hear it. Let me pop the hood on this thing. We could talk about that for a little bit. So there's the engine. This is the new Gen 4. It looks very similar to the Gen 3. This is pretty wild. So the engine cover is just a big floppy piece of rubber. It's not like the old engine covers at all. As you can see, like things like our coil packs will fit in there. It's got a brand new high pressure fuel pump. Down here where there's normally that little empty plug, they just put a plug on it, and they probably put that there so people would stop complaining and thinking that it's a hole. It's got a new intake system. It's got a new battery that's got a bunch of extra bits on it. And the diverter valve is not on the turbo on this model, and it runs up to the front, up to the throttle body pipe. We've already tested like several different products. We have like intercooler and a few others, and some of them fit, some of them don't. So like we'll have all that information as soon as these cars hit the US. Well, the battery's actually in the front on the last one. It just wasn't on some of the models like the RS3 because there's no room. And then here's our Mark 8 Golf GTI. I know a lot of people, there was a lot of controversy over the headlights, but in person, it actually looks really good. I like it. I mean, they call all these different things like IQ lighting. They have all these little details, like this new side piece here is much more substantial than the last one. They've done little things like add the word Volkswagen here on the side, on the pillar. And I actually really like the rear end of this car. It's really easy to see in person, not so much on this video, but like all the different panels, the way that they're shaped, they're more angular, kind of more straight in the back, but like it's not so, I guess, bubbly, maybe like some of the previous cars. All the new VW logos that don't touch on the bottom, the Dracula fangs. Tailpipes are they're fairly meaty from the stock, but we'll make them meatier. We already have a catback system that when we had these cars in Germany, we started off by putting on our parts and then seeing what needed to change and all that. And we've already come up with some of the changes that are needed to have a catback. So we'll have that kind of quickly, hopefully. Quickly for us, let's put it that way. Now inside here, the seats, I don't know if you could see very well, but these seats are awesome. We have the cloth seats, but they actually do have Alcantara right here on the sides. And they're extremely angular and high bolsters, and the inside in this thing is it is a big upgrade. So you have all the digital dashes, you have the new infotainment center system. It kind of feels like the Audi. I haven't played around with this system enough to really give a good opinion on it like I have with the Audi one, but it's cool, and plus ours is still in German, so I'm gonna have to change that. I think this will be polarizing because there's no real shifter here anymore. It's just the little knob. But here's the key. Now that's all new, and it's awesome. Just all different. There's no, there's a physical key if you push the little side button and pull it out, but it's not a flip out style key anymore. They have all these little cool things down here. They have USB-C for everything because it's the future. Nobody likes the old ones. And this is kind of cool. So the cup holder here, just push this little button and boom, pops out. Over in Germany, they give you an ashtray, because I guess people still smoke in cars over there or something. And then we have Josh here has just brought over the turbo. Let's take a quick look at that. So this is the GTI turbo. It's let's go over here in the shade a little bit, and let's just duck down here. So this is the GTI turbo. It's a Garrett unit. It has the turbo muffler on it, which the S3 unit does not. It has a new style for putting on the like the turbo muffler, or I'm sorry, the turbo inlet pipe. It has a new style DV, which is located on it, like I was saying, but it's totally different. I believe it's a bigger piston. They call this an MGT. Let me see here, MGT 1754, and I have the sizes written down. I'm sorry I don't have them right now to tell everybody, but I'll have to look at that in a little bit. The on the hot side, this is not compatible with the other cars. Like that's bigger, so it would require a bigger downpipe to actually fit on the car. Other than that, it still has that same kind of weird style split thing here, so I'm guessing people will probably try to put these on the cars, but it's not plug and play like the IS38 was, so you'd have to do a bunch more work to actually make it work. And then you want to go get the S3 turbo, and we'll take a look at that in a second. So I can keep showing you some more things about this. This car, again, this is not a US spec car. This is a German one. No spare tire. They just have the little bag there with the tools. I'm not even sure if this one comes with a pump, so it's kind of a little different than maybe the tires don't break in Germany. Must be an American thing. Inside the car, we don't have a sunroof on this model. I'm actually not sure if everybody else gets them or not, but they've upgraded all this stuff. This is all new paneling. That's like the piano black, like clear plastic type surfaces. And let me jump to the back here real quick. Again, plenty of room. I guess they just keep making these cars longer because, like, I don't remember sitting in the back of a GTI and always feeling comfortable, and I definitely do in this car. There's plenty of room. They have these nice little pockets in here so your legs don't really touch. The seats have that suede on the side here, and then ours are cloth. I'm sure that they'll have a variation that is leather as well. Let me pop the hood. I got to put down the phone because this doesn't have... Unfortunately, it's got one of these boys. So when you go to close the hood, you got to remember that and don't smash it like I've done in the past. The engine is very similar to the S3, except for the fact that the turbo is different. Again, it has this weird, like, rubbery cover. It's not like the plastic covers from the past. I'm guessing because it's pretty loud. It's really clicky with the direct injection. It's got that new style high-pressure fuel pump. It's got the Garrett turbo in the back with the DB actually on it. The battery has a bunch of different things on it. The ECU on both these cars is all new. It's a new version of CMOS. So we're working on cracking into that now and getting all of our tools ready so we can start tuning it. And the same thing as the S3. Most of our parts fit or will fit, but we are making some new things. Like we're looking at the intake system. How can we make a new system that'll work on this and, you know, won't require any adapters, so it'll be less expensive. And then of course all of the coil packs here, or the ignition coils, those work with our existing ones as well. So here's the turbo for the S3. Let's go back in the shade over here again. So the S3 turbo is really different. I mean, first off, it's fairly large. I believe it was a 61 millimeter on the compressor side. It doesn't have a DV mounted on it. The DV is actually mounted elsewhere in the car. It has a turbo speed sensor port on it, so they're monitoring how fast the shaft speed is on this. I know that there was a lot of problems on the early IHIs on the last platform, and they're probably doing that for somewhat of like tuning protection for like piggybacks and you know, just general safety. I mean, they can make sure that in certain conditions that this thing isn't overspinning and eating itself. The way that the inlet mounts on this is also different. So it's actually just got two little screw holes here. It's not like a twist in like the old style, or like the one on the Garrett side. And it's also got this nice little chamfered lip here to go down to there. So I'm sure that people will make a hybrid out of this because there's some meat to be removed. Again, it's got a electronic wastegate actuator on it, and it looks a little bit different than the last ones. It looks a little more beefy, I guess you could say. And then the housing is a different, on the hot side, the housing, it doesn't look, the Garrett one looked like a different type of material, probably more iron. This seems something, maybe like a stainless mix or something, I don't know. It just seems a little more substantial. Although there is this little tab up here, so I wonder if that prevents you from putting this on one of the other cars. Then you hop over to the exhaust side, and same thing, it's really big. But one thing that's not conducive to upgrading is how close that is to the wastegate, how close this is. So I'm guessing that that's going to making a turbine upgrade for the hybrid guys a little bit of a challenge. So I've been talking for a while now here. What questions do you guys have? I haven't been looking at the questions on the screen, so I probably missed a lot. What questions do you guys have? No questions. Yeah, both of the cars are pretty big. I wouldn't say that they're too big. I mean, you can actually fit 4 people in the car now. It does sound a little bit different, but I mean, right now the car has the stock exhaust on both of them. And the thing is that these are German models, so they have the OPF filters in them. So the thing that kind of is a little bit of a bummer is that since they have the OPF filters in them, they're really quiet. They're really quiet. The OPF is kind of like an extra catalyst in there. I believe the GTI has 1 OPF and the S3 I believe has 2, but I'd have to get back under the car and look again because I don't remember. The CMOS version, I thought it was 19. I don't remember. I could probably look right on it. Let me turn it off. I don't even know where the start stop button is. Oh. Oh yeah, so no MPI on this at all. They have the ports there, but none of the cars, even though these are German spec cars, they don't use it anymore. Yes, we will map with the GPF intact. We're not going to take that thing off. So let me pop out the ECU. And it's CMOS 19.6. Sorry about that. So CMOS 19.6, that's the brand new hotness. The transmissions are both the 7-speed DSGs. We'll have to, I mean, we just got these cars, so we'll have to interrogate it and make sure that we can communicate with it and update all our tools if we need to. The high pressure fuel pump, I seem to remember, I think it's a Continental, but I can't see it in this light right now. And I don't know if it's bigger or not. I mean, it kind of looks like if the ECU can take the same control strategy, like this pump doesn't look like it'll be upgradable like the Hitachi pumps have been in the past. That's just my guess. And if not, hopefully, if it needs to be upgraded, hopefully we can just put on another unit and then reconfigure the ECU to understand it. But that's yet to be seen. The map sensor is, well, it doesn't say what it is, but it's I mean, it's a Bosch sensor. There you go. Oh, this is all new right here. Kind of goofy looking. I guess the other one was goofy looking too, because they weren't a ball. It's kind of like a smash ball. Oh yeah. So there's no brake booster on this car anymore either. So down in here they have like an electronic brake booster. So I don't think that the turbos, Scott, if that's what you're talking about, I don't think that the turbos are going to go onto the Mark 7. I mean, you could probably make them fit, but think it's kind of like a pain in the butt because there's going to be a bunch of different hoses and things. It's not like a direct swap. And will the S3 hatch be available in the USA? I don't think so. I think we're only getting the sedan. That's my guess. What are the yellow things on the PCV system? That's just the plastic that's normally clear up here, but once it gets oil in it, it turns a little bit yellow. This thing's kind of wild. So, you know, this little port on the side here that most people think is just an empty hole. Well, they've plugged that off, but I don't want to rip it out. But basically, it doesn't go anywhere. So it just looks like there's a plug in there, and I'm guessing that's because probably all the techs are like, hey, some guy brought in his car and he's got a hose clamp on it and thinks there's a boost leak, but obviously it was just a, you know, it's not even a port. It's never a direct swap. Yeah, it's upside down. So we are working on the Mark 7. We were just back at the track again this weekend, and we have an upgraded turbo that we've made from the ground up that's on that car. So we're looking to see if that'll work. And then hopefully if that pans out, then we can just make a slight change to the housing so it'll fit these cars. But it looks like we'll probably have to have a housing for the GTI, and we'll have to have a housing for the S3 and Golf R because they're a little bit different. OPF delete, no, we're not doing it. The Mark 8 GTI. Hey, do you remember when the Mark 8's coming in the USA? What'd they say? Like end of the year, maybe? Maybe end of the year. I don't know. It might be next year.
It's gonna be a minute.
Yeah. B9 S5. We're working on turbo for that too. We're doing a drop-in, totally ground up, like not a hybrid or anything like that. And then of course, we're going to be working with our partners to come up with new brakes for these cars. And our wheels will go on them. We've already fit the wheels on the GTI over in Europe. They fit great. No, right now we are not getting Golf R shipped over here. We're going to start with this car, develop it, and then Golf R is basically, from everything that we've read, it's basically the same thing. It's the LK3 version of the engine, and there's going to be some slight differences that we'll need to do, probably in Europe, for the tuning on the exhaust system. The Haldex system, I believe, is slightly different. Like the Golf R is getting that drift mode, and that's something that we're going to look into, see if we can add that to the S3, because I believe that they're putting it on the RS3. I don't know the exact number of the Haldex, like the version number or anything like that, so I can't really comment on that. Awesome. Yeah, we might need some scan data on the exhaust, and then we can send over some first articles to test out. So these are registered in the USA. We can, I think once all the paperwork's cleared, we can drive them, but obviously we're gonna keep them pretty limited driving around here, and we're gonna take them to the track. We're gonna do the whole thing. So we're gonna run on the track with them. We're gonna run at the drag strip, all that kind of stuff, get some before and after numbers to see what these things can do. And then hopefully for everybody in the US, that'll kind of give you a little bit of a head start, or at least us a head start on the tuning and everything, so we can hopefully get some products to you a lot quicker, because I know our development time is fairly lengthy. I really can't comment on the stage 3. I mean, it's all development work, and once the engineers are happy, then, you know, we move forward with it. So which one do you guys like better? Do you like the GTI better or the S3 better? Assuming that they all had, if they were both the same drivetrain and all that stuff, which one would you choose? Would you choose the Audi hatchback or the GTI hatchback? See, I like the S3 front end, but I really like the GTI rear end. For the Tiguan, Kate, yeah, we have some more stuff coming for that. We'll have an intake system for it. And then basically everything that we have that we can make fit from like the GTI, we're going to do that. Kind of want to Hey, do you want to rev it up real quick? I know you can only go to like 4,000 RPM, but at least you'll hear somewhat what it sounds like. So like, again, this is probably going to be really quiet. This is the GTI. That's not that bad. I mean, it kind of has like a little bit of a deeper sound than the Mark 7. It sounds different for sure. Let's do the same thing on the S3. The GTI's new wheels are a fairly interesting shape. All right, here we go. So this is a quad tip, I'm guessing with valves. It actually, I'd say the GTI sounded louder. Yeah, I would say the GTI sounded better. That's surprising. Oh, there we go. Now it's in dynamic mode. Here, give it a hit. Yeah. If it has pops and bangs, it's not doing it right now. I know that much. Is it in like all in dynamic mode? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not hearing anything. I mean, there's a little bit of a rumble, but I wouldn't really call it pops and bangs. It's just kind of like a little bit of a burble. And the funny thing is, it smells like German gasoline. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, it does do the pops and bangs, but it's more of a poops and boops. It's not really that exciting. I'm sure it sounds different on the road. When you're right here, all you can do is rev it up to 4,000. So hopefully, once we start tuning it, we can change that. We'll raise that up to, I don't know, whatever. We'll raise it up higher, however high we can go. Yeah, no, the OPF is really, I mean, that thing just kills exhaust sound, unfortunately. But we are not getting the OPFs in the United States, but this will give us a chance to tune the cars with the OPF and then without it. I'm gonna pop on that engine cover so they could just see what it looks like. I think it just lays right on top of it. Yeah. I don't like the engine right now. I don't like the way it looks. Maybe we should make an engine cover for this. What do you guys think? I mean, this thing is like a really big sound dampening material. I just don't think it's it's not very exciting looking. I know some of you guys don't care about that, but I know the car show guys do. Same thing with this. This kind of reminds me of the Tiguan cover, but it's that floppy material, and it looks like they've chosen to do no logo on it, so they can sell this same cover on like the Skoda and the Seat and not have to worry about any of that. What kind of material would you guys want? Would you want a carbon fiber engine cover, or would you want plastic? Yeah, it's sound deadening. That's basically all it is. It's really thick. Yeah, come on. Hey, can you put that hood down real quick on this? Aluminum engine cover. All right, let's see. Well, this is all in German, so hello to all my German friends. I can kind of go through the different things on here. So this is interesting. All these buttons are kind of like a haptic feedback. So like when you touch it, it's a flat surface, but you can feel like a tick. And is there a mounting point for the hydraulic? Is there a mounting point for the hydraulic lifter for the hood? Let's take a look at that. I'm pretty sure there is. Oh yeah, this thing was weird. So yeah, this thing has the Bobo hood latch from 1980s. And let's see. So yeah, on the S3 here it is. And it mounts right down there. And on this car, it's got it down there. But there is no place to put it up here. Huh. How does it mount? Yeah, I'm not seeing the mounting point for it on here. Maybe they'll have, yeah, I'm seeing it down there, but I mean up here. I don't know if there's something that like pops into place up there, but it doesn't look like that's a really easy one. Well, that's unfortunate. I mean, yeah. The turbo is bigger. I'm pretty confident on that. I'm gonna have to get the exact number, so I'll probably make a thread somewhere. But all these little buttons here, those are all different. Everything is like the piano black kind of surfacing. We can't tell right now because of how bright it is, but basically like all underneath here, it's got like red LEDs coming out of it. It's pretty cool. This is all neat. That looks definitely cool there. I think that's for, looks like wireless charging down there. Yeah. So I don't know what options are actually going to make it to the US car, but it seems pretty well equipped the way it is right now. Yeah, I'm sure that they cut some costs here, but it looks like they've upgraded in other areas. So I don't know if it's that big of a deal. It's like the cost saving things that they did, like the engine cover and the hood prop, like big deal. I'll take all those screens and everything over that any day. We are not doing an EFR on these. Any turbo kit that we're ever doing ever again in the future is probably going to be a turbo that we've made that's just going to drop into place. Basically something that's going to be very, very cost and price conscious and easy, super easy, and something that can be like emissions compliant. And then if you guys don't care about that, you know, then just buy the turbo and do whatever you want with it. Yeah, are there any more questions? Anything else you want to ask before I cut this video off? Let me take a look at this. So that's pretty. So this one is from Germany, so you can see it's 98 RON is what they suggest you do. It's on the S3. And then the GTI, they only require you to have 95 RON. So that's interesting. Can you lick it? Man, I don't know if you'd really want to, dude. It's kind of weird. What trim level are these and the options? I have no idea. Maybe we have the sticker. Is the window sticker in there? Do they have window stickers in Germany? Yeah, 1 second. Pulling out the window sticker. If it has it. I don't really want to show you this registration card here because it's got all our numbers on it, but 1 second. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure whenever we spec these things out though, we usually try to get as many options as we can, so that way if there's any sort of like a cooler or a sensor or anything that could block the install of any of our stuff, we have it on the car so we know that we can work around those things. So I'm pretty sure these things are well spec'd out. Also, we like to work with Stoll, our partners over in Germany. Here's their logo here. And we want to spec out the car and basically get it in a situation where like they can sell the car back easily. So that's why we pick colors that are fairly neutral. Does the GTI have a pop hatch? Take a look at that real quick. No, I mean it's slow. It's not like the it's not automated, and it's not like those ones that people have that just flies open whenever you push the button. I'm pretty sure it doesn't, because that didn't really have much to it. Here, let's just hit it real quick with the button. Let me see that. So again, here's the key. Totally cool on this car. No, it doesn't. It's probably because the car's on right now. It won't let me do it. But on the S3, yeah, it's got the power lift and everything. Well, to say the least, we're really excited to start tuning these cars and see what the new turbo and new engine's capable of doing. We don't know yet, so we have a ton of parts that are ready for them and a ton of parts that we want to already start making. And the first thing we do when we get these cars in is we start basically drilling over them, pointing to everything in the car that we think that we can improve. And we've got a ton of ideas ready already. So hopefully we hit the mark on what we're making and we're able to deliver some stuff that you guys like. I think I'm going to sign off here, unless there's any other last second questions. I'll take a second to look. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. See you later.